Let's fucking go.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to a special live stream here where I'm going to interview the man himself, the boss man there at Jazzinc, a man who I've had on the channel before. Really interesting part one interview there a few months ago, which if you go back through my live stream you'll see, and we're happy enough that we're delighted actually that he's given up some of his time here to come in and talk about various different things. We're going to be talking about the Jazzinc 89, we're going to be talking about the Tumbler, we're going to talk about the 66, we're going to be talking about Michelle Pfeiffer. There may even be some exclusive images, teaser images to come. Now I'm looking at the numbers here and there's 84 people watching. Now I've had 84 people watching live streams before. I've had over 100 before, but usually we get start off on the host show on Monday, we have 40, 50, then gets up to 60, 70. So I wonder how many people are watching because they love Jazzinc and they have the vehicles. I wonder how many people are just 6-scale collectors. I wonder how many trolls we have out there. Make yourself known, trolls, so we can just block you and be done with it. Come on, do something better with your lives. All right, we're going to bring the man himself in. Joost, how are you doing? You good?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, but especially the last few days now that the prototype for Catwoman is coming together, and the responses that I've been seeing online with just the teasers, and we're so close to the pre-orders. I cannot wait to show everything. I cannot wait to see what happens. Sometimes I wish it were next year just to see, because this is the first figure we're going to be doing. Mm-hmm. How many are we going to do? How many extras are we going to be able to do, like 1989 Batmobile? Already working on the next two figures. So I'm a lot of exciting stuff.
Excellent stuff. Excellent. I just want to put it out there. So obviously I try to be as neutral as I can and unbiased as I can in these interviews. It's difficult because from speaking to you before on the live stream, from speaking to you before on Facebook Messenger and chatting, I think you're an absolute gentleman. I think your story is really incredible, and from the products I've seen, again, I don't own a Jazzinc product. Hands up in the air. I'm soon to own that 89. I've told you before how much I've ogled that Batwing 89. I think it's an absolute work of art. I think a testament to you. But I try to remain unbiased, so I'm going to ask questions that I, as a collector who's going to outlay $2,000 on the Jazzinc 89, and I'm still psyched about it, but inevitably I'm going to ask you a question. Unfortunately, you've probably been asked before, and you probably answered a million times, so I apologize in advance for that. I think when it comes to Jazzinc, there's two kind of extremes. There's what I called the Jazzinc extremists, and you can do no wrong, and everything's perfect, and they will defend you to the end, and sometimes they might even get a little bit personal if someone mentions hot toys. But then at the other side of things, you have the people who basically, Jazz, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you probably noticed, who just want to watch you fail, and they want you to fail. Is this something that you have recognized and you know that's out there?
Oh yeah, both. Thank God the people who want to watch me fail, as far as I know, I can count them on the fingers of one hand. We all know number one. And that guy is the same with InArt and others. So yeah, it's weird, but it's okay. With the extremists the other way, yeah, that's also a thing. Actually, I don't know if you're in the Facebook group, right?
Yeah, I think I saw. No, I think I know where you're going with this, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, because I recently, I in the last month did 2 videos. One where I asked people, please stay friendly, and also for the people who defend me, I appreciate it, but I can fight my own battles, and I need the feedback, even though some perceive it as negative, because that's how we grew and that's how we grow. So that worked, because we've had a couple of phases. Every time we have a big product that's popular, we get a whole bunch of people in the group, and now it's over 16,000, and we have to repeat that message. But in the last few weeks, I just recorded a second video, and it's like, okay, I'm asking Derek, he's a volunteer. He's just a customer like you are going to be, and he volunteered to do the moderating. And if it were up to him, I would be much stricter in approving posts and in letting discussions go. And I've said, okay, Derek, you're off leash now. As soon as anything is personal or just not uncalled for, even though people might be trying to defend me, or the other way around, just delete it. 3 strikes, you're out, and you're out of the group, which people then
and they still get 2 strikes for free, so that's kind of fair.
Yeah, because I've also I've heard that I shouldn't have done that, but that's the way.
No, I think that's fair. It's like, if you're not gonna, some people can't have nice things. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the way I see that is, like, it takes no effort, 0 effort, to set up a YouTube handle, put some dummy picture on it, go and watch all the YouTubers, and just troll all day. Yeah, like, it takes no effort, and it's spineless because you're not on screen. Whereas, like, you're in front of the camera, you're the face of your company. The content creators out there are the face of their channels, and you know, it's so much difficult because people know your name, people know what you look like, and like, they can just go from troll to troll, and it takes minimal effort. But you know, like, look, if it makes them happy, but that's what the block button's for. So really quickly, I'm just I'll ask a few more questions, then I'll try to address the chat. Thank you to the 122 people watching live. I really do appreciate it. Or if you're watching, it's people are interested, or if you're watching on the replay, much appreciate that too. So this is Joost, just in case you don't know. He's from the Netherlands. He has a company called Jazzinc. They specialize in 1/6 scale hyper-realistic vehicles. This is my second interview I did with Joost. Before the first one, backstage, I said, look, do you want to see the questions first? Do you want to see the list of the questions there? Because I didn't want to blindside him with anything. He declined. And I said, all right, but there's a few awkward ones there. And he goes, no, look, you'll get a genuine reaction, and it'll give me a chance to address some of the issues. So just to recap, I asked him about his Star Wars license before. He explained about the Star Wars products and how, like, he might not be doing them anymore. I asked him about the putty incident, which got, from what I understand from his response, got taken, Puttygate got taken out of context. When the person had an issue, he was offered a replacement, then declined the replacement, then went to the group, and then people in the group basically jumped on that completely out of context as well. He was offered a replacement, didn't take it. I also asked him something that, a lot of my questions, Joost, they're really selfish, but I ask him because it's the $2,000 price tag, and because you know, it's a lot of money and stuff like that, and I want to make sure my product's okay. I asked you, I said, if mine arrives and there's a problem with it or damage, could I send it back? And you said yes. And I said, okay, who's paid for shipping? And he also said he paid for shipping. Okay, that was all addressed months ago. So some of the content creators who have received their vehicles, and I don't know what the arrangement there, whatever like that, but from what I understand, please correct me if I'm wrong, there was a few issues, and some are getting replacements. Would that be correct? Yeah, and so what the confusion was is, and I think I mentioned this in our previous stream, because we discussed you being in that batch. 100%. You said beta test group. Yes. Yeah. So we wanted to ramp up every check that we could. So we bought a shaker machine a while back. I showed that in the group. Of course, we're doing the drop tests. We flew in 5 people from the Netherlands to China to check the work that's being done there. And so we did a beta test, and maybe there was
some things unclear about that, and I think for the future test, we're just going to be sending it to volunteers who don't have a YouTube channel to prevent any confusion there. But what people were seeing online are basically the beta test units, not the final production
can
version.
You still hear me? Sorry. Can you still hear me? I lost you there for like 30 seconds. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's probably I probably just froze. Sorry. The last thing I heard was there was some confusion about the beta test batches. Sorry.
Yeah. So people in the chat, did I drop out for 30 seconds? Do I need to repeat myself?
I'll go to the most recent chat.
We heard everything. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. You work away.
Okay, so there's a couple of things you just can't simulate from the factory, and that's why we did the beta test. We sent out 12 units, and a couple of issues arose. The first one was that the packaging, the way we designed it, wasn't working because not everybody, but the majority got paint rub somewhere. So we designed the custom styrofoam packaging as we always did. We put in a plastic bag, then foam, and then Velcro to keep everything in place. But apparently our shaker taker wasn't strong enough, so we bought a new one now that's even stronger. And it caused some paint rub between the foam that we put on and the vehicle. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing we did after getting that feedback, is we redesigned the packaging. We're now going back to the way we did it for the 1966, where we're basically tying the vehicle down from the bottom, so there needs to be nothing on top that could cause the paint rub. So for the first batch for all the production, we know that the paint rub is going to be fixed. The second thing was that we had the wheel logos. We tried tests where we glued on the wheeled logos like they were with the actual vehicle of the screen used vehicle, because the alternative was we could make the wheel logo part of the wheel, but then we couldn't extrude the logo all the way down to the back the way it was in the vehicle, and then it's not screen accurate, right? So because those logos had to be attached, and because they were very much near the outside of the packaging, we had a few where it just broke off. So we're like, okay, we're not going to do that. And then we tried it with magnets. That was part of the test batch. We weren't totally happy with that. So now we still have the magnets for the people who like attaching the metal logos with magnets, but we'll also be including automotive grade 3M, the stuff that they use to glue on your spoiler on your car. Mm-hmm. And then it's on.
So if it's good enough for a spoiler on it, sorry, one of the critiques that I received about our last interview, Joost, was I kept interrupting you, and I'm sorry. Sometimes I always thought it was part of active listening. You repeat back what the person said, and you seek clarity. So it's good enough for actual spoilers on actual cars.
Yes.
So 3M should be good enough for a 6-scale vehicle.
Yeah. It's not going to be a problem. No problem.
Sure.
So,
okay.
All right. So the packaging is addressed. The paint rub is addressed. The logos are addressed. The other thing was that some people, it required quite a tug to get the cannons to stay up properly. So what we now did is a sort of like a velour type velour type material is now attached to the bases of all the guns, so that when you pull it up, it'll just stay in any position you want. So there's basically a little bit more friction. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be addressed from now going forward for all versions. And then the final thing was that the canopy we had special feet made for the canopy, so that the feet where it rested on the interior wouldn't scratch the interior. That also wasn't working to plan, so we've redesigned the silicone feet that are on the bottom of that, the feet of the canopy, so that not only does it not scratch your interior, but then it also actually lines up as designed. So you've got the extra protection, and you'll have the canopy aligned. So the stuff that you saw in the reviews where the paint was rubbed, I don't think it was on Mr. Mom's Collectibles. That one arrived in good shape. But for the others, we just wanted to make sure. So everybody who had that issue, of course, in the test batch, like I promised you, if you were in the test batch and you found an issue in the test batch, you'll get a free replacement, obviously. Mm-hmm. So yeah, paint rub, packaging, wheel logos, silicone feet, canopy alignment, and we're adding larger corner protectors for the art box. So those are the changes. All this. Oh no! And there was one more thing. And that was that a couple of American customers, all from around the same FedEx hub, got theirs wet. But that was just a FedEx thing. So
okay. But we also, Joost, just to be clear, we call American customers overseas. That's
overseas. Yeah.
Yeah, they're overseas because they think we're overseas.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
And when we talk about the licensing and Catwoman and the fact that I can buy it directly from you and they can't, they are definitely overseas. Okay, this is how it feels to be overseas.
Yep.
A lot of my I was going to basically itemize any issue that I'd seen so far and ask you. Okay, so this is an issue. How has been fixed? I think you have. Pretty much ticked all those boxes. I'll come back to later on, but I'm not going to, if you've already answered it and addressed it, I'm just going to move on from that. One thing I do want to show you though, because back to the first stream we did, in the first conversation we had, which I thoroughly enjoyed, there was, even though you said you didn't want to read the questions or see the questions, I didn't want to blindside you, you said just go for it, which I thought was very brave and I respected that. I did get a bit of stick in the comments after, and it was funny because like I actually find a lot of them highly entertaining. Like they don't really annoy me. I actually go, God, this person went through the trouble of watching a stream with a fake YouTube channel and then made a comment. And sometimes depending on my mood, I might just block them or I kind of mess with them. This one I like though, so I'm gonna just share this. I have very kindly, I blanked out the person's name, even though it's probably fake, and even though it's like they made it public, it's public. If you choose to make a comment on YouTube, your fake name is public or whatever. But yeah. So this person, when he says this guy, he's talking about me. So this guy, focus, isn't afraid to ask the hard questions. Joost is obviously uncomfortable in this interview. So there was a few comments in between, people like obviously jumping to your defense, nothing too sinister or anything like that. They're kind of going, yeah, relax, man. He seemed all right. He seemed to handle himself fine, And then you commented, well, actually, I was very glad for these questions so I can explain why things are the way they are. And we're going to get more of that today. And then then the person added me and said, he definitely was, as in uncomfortable. Yeah. And I doubt, seriously, you will get another interview. So shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. So I'm a bad winner. I couldn't help myself. I wasn't going to. I know it's petty, but I enjoyed myself. Really quickly, Joost, a bit of basic housekeeping. Thank you very much to the 3,848 subscribers. It is greatly appreciated. I say this regularly, but I do like to thank anyone who's ever taken the time out of their day to watch any of the videos, like any of the videos, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member, ask a question, ask me on their live stream, vice versa. It is really appreciated. And we talk about the community. I know sometimes the bad parts show their heads and stuff like that, but for the most part, it definitely part of my life that makes me happy. The collecting itself, the pop culture that goes with it, and conversations like these. So the members, shout out to the troopers here. By the way, if you want to become a channel member, it is greatly appreciated. You do not have to become a channel member, but it does help support the channel. It all goes back into the channel in some shape or form. The troopers, and there's a link to join channel members, as usual, pinned as a pinned comment in the live chat there, as is in any a live stream. So shout out to 162 people watching live and anyone watching the replay. Our troopers: 1/6 shooter, Figurecraft, Evil Sneaker, who is here I believe, Yomo, Mr. Ink, that's Danny Spotchka, the artist, literally the artist, he's a tattoo artist formerly known as Danny Spotchka, Howard Potts, Kenneth Jacobson, Ian aka Ancient, Silver Fox, who is delighted that you put the separate rolling eyeballs function in the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, Jose G Hernandez, he's got the blue wrench there, Brian Wong, the Ben Thomas Show, Eddie Money Mendez, happy birthday to Eddie Money Mendez, you get that in the chat please, Jim Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Thrawn's Office, and Ryan Smith. And of course they are the troopers tier, and the commanders tier, which is a bit higher, has their YouTube channel handles displayed like producers at the end of all the live streams, unboxing, reviews, all the content like this. New videos on the channel. Oh god, what am I after doing? This one here. My review of the Deadpool Special Edition with the gold gun. Spoiler, I absolutely love it. My thoughts on the upgrade here. Me gushing over this Terminator 2, even though I have the DX13 behind me. And of course, the unboxing and review of the Kenobi Vader. Okay, Joost, next question.
Okay.
What do we have? Okay, so yeah, basically, somehow Joost returned, so he decided to come back for the second interview. I also saw with the beta test that I was asked to be part of. Would that be like batch 1 or batch 0?
It's batch 0 basically. It's not the production version, so yeah, batch 0.
So you use that to inform fixes for the official batch 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So that particular after the last 2 weeks when some content creators got their machines and some did reviews and some did comparisons, some didn't, and all that, there would have been like how do I say, there obviously, it must have been frustrating for you, and you put up a post. I'm going to call it the refund post. Where you offered a refund. Was that to anybody in the beta test batch?
No, to everybody.
Or just in general? Oh,
yeah.
Right. So even the people who are in batch 1, which should come, or batch 2, whatever, so forth, should come with the improvements that the initial beta test group informed, because they were kind of like almost, in a way, the guinea pigs, and in fairness, they paid in full, and I know because you offered me one of them, and I will discuss why I didn't avail of it, which has nothing to do with Joost or anything to do with tax or whatever. But they paid in full, and the advantage was they got it early, but the disadvantage was it was the beta test version, and they might have to the hassle of sending it back and stuff like that, and saying, look, this needs fixing, this needs adjustment. So they informed batch 1. Would that be correct?
Yes. And they actually paid more to get the air shipping. So it was they paid more than your average customer, and so the refund option was a blanket refund. If you're not happy with what you saw online, you can get it. Because the last thing that we didn't mention yet is that people were upset about. There's some wavy nests and some and like what looks like dents, but I can't even measure with my micrometer in the side. And I sent you a couple of videos.
Joost. Yeah. In order to see them, I'm pretty sure you'd have to do a 4K blast, wouldn't you? You'd have to be really, really, really close with the old microscope and tweezers for that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I've sent you a couple of videos this afternoon, and it was funny. Right before the stream, you were like, "Don't know what they're talking about." So, yeah, and it was like, dude, if this bothers you, and it's a satin semi-gloss black finish, you'll see anything on that and everything. Because you know what, full refund.
Would that be? That was actually one of the things I want to talk about. So. The little were they dimpled? That's from the mold. Would that be right? The things I couldn't see. Now maybe I see them in my real thing when I get it. But you've already said that I can send it back if I'm not happy with it. But like, what exactly are these dimples or dents, or what's the story there?
Okay, so is there a way to maybe? Did you download the video I sent you? I
actually didn't. I didn't download the videos, and I didn't download the Catwoman stuff either. I wasn't sure, like the Catwoman stuff. Were you waiting for an official post or something like that? But you said you might show them later on. Yeah.
So let me share my screen then, and I can voice over the video. So. Let's go share screen window. So I'll just share my YouTube video. Can you see it now full screen?
No, I can just see like click to exit full screen on my end.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Is this better?
There we go. Yeah, you can see it now.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot of detail going on in the sides. And so we chose to model everything and produce everything the way it was. So you got the little speaker on the side. There's there's a full articulate, full modeled and produced hinge, and there's a couple other things. Now, and the other thing that we did is we sculpted all the full size of the vehicle and all the curves, right? And then what you get is certain parts of the injection molded part will be thicker and other parts will be thinner, and then where it's thinner you will see that it slides back, and then we minimize that by sanding. But there's a limit to what you can do with sanding, because then it becomes too thin and it becomes too hot from sanding, and it becomes all kinds of wavy. And there's not a whole lot you can do with filler, because that will look good at first, but it will, because it's different materials at different shrink rates and different temperatures, that will cause cracking in the paint down the line, right? Mm-hmm. So the way to solve that is basically what Hot Toys did. And so the reason why it looks much straighter and boxier is if you take out the complex compound curves and then engrave the things like the speaker and the hinge where the engrave line goes through the hinge, by the way, then you don't have that problem. But then again, you don't have the detail and you don't have the correct shape. So it's a matter of pick your poison. And we think this looks great, and we didn't think it was an issue at all. And we've had people, so basically all the YouTubers that got it, all the people that got it say it looks great. You really have to look for it. And we got people who saw it in person and said, yeah, I don't see it unless people point it out to me. So basically that's the story. And
so could you show me like what they're talking about on this video now? Is it like possible to highlight one of them? Like especially like you've actually put up the refund post and people can just go, I didn't realize, I thought that was the people who got their vehicle, they get a refund. But it's actually for people going forward, if you saw something in the beta test batch that you didn't like, they could still get a full refund. Yeah,
the only exception is once it's shipped. All right, so I'm going to pause here. So if you look in this bit, you'll see that there's a bit of a dent, and the same here. So right there, see this line?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. So if you were to move your camera around in a certain light, especially light hitting it from the side, or like you've probably done this with your face. If you light it from below, it's going to exaggerate everything very much. Well, that's basically what we're talking about.
Okay.
And that is something that after the sanding and filling that we've done, we can't go any further. This is what it is. The other alternative is the way Hot Toys did it, and then so get a free cancellation and buy the Hot Toys version.
Okay, so I appreciate that transparency. So now, because you're basically saying, look, this is something we can't change.
No.
So if it's an issue for you, you can get your refund.
Yeah, because the third alternative is to make even more separate parts, but then that creates a whole new slew of problems, because every part has its tolerances, and then you get the alignment and panel gap issues. So again, it's pick your poison. This is the best we can do within this budget, and keep everything accurate and detailed and to scale, and with the compound curves and everything. There's no such thing as a free lunch. And if you start looking for it, you'll see it in other vehicles as well, and in our other vehicles before as well. So that's what we're talking about here. And if you don't like what you're seeing, cancel now, because this thing is not what qualifies for a refund or a replacement when you get it. Because we've put it on Facebook, we've put it on YouTube, we've sent an email to everyone who's ordered it with this video as well. This is what it is.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think I'm going to jump ahead to one of the questions I have, because I think you've essentially, any review or kind of comparison, whatever I saw, I tried to watch as many as I could. So, and then I wrote down all the issues that I noticed and that were highlighted, and I think you've actually addressed them all, but we're going to really quickly run through this. I don't want to do the same thing again, but the water damage to, or I wouldn't say water, maybe water damage on
there was no damage.
Water on the vehicle. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no damage to the vehicle, but the vehicle was wet. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And so they I think Mr. Mom was one of them that had water on the vehicle, and you've seen his review. It just wipes off and the thing looks awesome. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And did you say not everyone's, was it everyone's, or did you mention earlier that not everyone's Batmobile arrived wet? No, that was 2 or 3 people, I think. And they were all around the same hub. So okay, right. Okay. So it's possible that it was I think you mentioned a FedEx issue. They were left somewhere where they shouldn't be, or yeah, because the box was a little wet as well. And yeah, so you don't have to worry about that with any of the production versions, unless FedEx puts your box in the rain. But then again, it's automotive paint, so you'll be fine either way. Okay, so the next one then, I don't know if this was a common issue or what, but I do know that, shout out to Jay, Brother Cousins, I think I saw him in the chat here. I watched his review, thoroughly enjoyed it, and he did mention in some streams, because, I watch the streams, and, there's streams that I will watch and streams that I don't watch, the same way as there's TV programs that I watch and the TV programs I won't watch. But I do quite like Jay, and I like Mafia, and I watch him on Mafia and stuff like that. And he mentioned that his turbine wasn't working initially, and then he just kind of jump started it, gave it a flick, and now it's working fine. Do you know what could cause that to happen, or were there other turbines that weren't working? So what we think caused this to happen is there's always going to be tiny bits of plastic residue, and I think they got in the turbine because once you spin it, it works. To be sure, we're going to air hose out every vehicle in every sub-step now, so we're going to make sure that there's no plastic residue parts, and to be sure, we've also upgraded to a military spec electronics and soldering and connection method on every part, so that the chance that the huge amount of force that is on a package when it goes across the world doesn't create a loose joint or anything. So we're just to be sure, we added a couple of steps where we blow out everything some more, clean out everything some more, so that there is no debris that can get caught in the turbine, because that's exactly what happened with Brother Cousins. And we've upgraded the connection so that it's better. So, yeah. Okay, good stuff. The next one then, where is this? Sorry. The paint scuffs you've addressed already, and you've changed the packaging. The canopy missing silicone seal to ensure the canopy sits flush. Is that you've changed? Did you say you initially had some sort of feet for the bottom of the canopy, but now you've changed it, or? Yeah, we've changed it. So it's not a seal, not like a silicone seal around the canopy. So it's really the feet, and we've redesigned them. They're in production now, and we should have them on the 22nd, 23rd. Which is part of the reason for the delay for all the batches, and then you will not have the alignment issue anymore. Okay, and the final one then was, I think you've addressed this already. The bat symbols. I understand why you did it the way the Hot Toys want to understand those bat symbols on the wheels. They're like part of the mold, but you were going for accuracy, and you couldn't do it that way because it wouldn't be as accurate. But is it M3 tape? Is that what you're going with the for the bat symbols?
Yeah. So 3M tape plus.
Or sorry, 3M tape. My apologies, sorry.
Yeah, 3M tape or magnets. It's up to the customer. They'll have both in the box.
Okay, and like, can you kind of? Why didn't you just like put the M3 tape or 3M tape? Is it 3M or M3?
3M.
There's a road near me called the M3. That's why I'm getting confused. So the 3M. Why didn't you just like say, right, we're just going to go with 3M tape, stick it on? Probably no one would know the difference. So why did you want the? They're not supposed to be removable, are they? Or,
no, what I thought that we thought with the magnets, it would just be easier because I've heard from a lot of people they don't like to having to glue parts on. So it's basically a thing I've heard of through the years. So we thought this might be a creature comfort to do with magnets. The other advantage of the magnets is if you were ever to sell it, with the magnets, you can just take them off, put them back in the packaging like original. That was another thought, and send it out. Whereas with the 3M, they're on, and there's always the chance that during shipping, one of them will pop off. So that's okay. Those were the options.
Okay, right. Now that makes sense. Like again, so like you've taken all the data you have from the beta test batch, and you've used that to fix what you can fix, which is in your control. The kind of divots you're showing me, you're saying is out of control, but you've posted on your site and you've emailed people saying, look, you can have a refund if you want. What was the total number of people who requested a refund? I assume, because like with the massive outcry in the 1/6 scale community, surely a lot of people.
100.
What's the opposite of putting your money where your mouth is? It's not putting where your money mouth is. How many people actually? So can you share those numbers? How many people?
Yeah, 3.
How many people? 3. Okay, right. So 3 out of. What's the number on the orders?
Somewhere between 2,400, 2,500. So basically, based on the outcry, I would have thought hundreds. But then again, we currently have like 270 people on the wait list, and we haven't been able to write to any one of them yet because we have 3 cancellations. But then we heard today that one of them is still getting it as a present from his father. So it's absolutely ridiculous, and you see how overblown this stuff gets, even because people were like, I think it's ridiculous, and the only reason I'm not canceling is because I lose my NRD. And I was like, okay, fine. Everybody who said that, I sent them a message, plus I put it on my Facebook group, plus I put it on a forum, and I'm saying it now. If you want a free refund because you don't like the divots, then it's yours.
That's fair. I don't think you can be fairer than that. Christopher, he said all this already. I feel bad. He has to keep explaining himself. I get that. And I did say apologize to Joost behind stage. He goes, look, I know you did an interview the other day, and I know you've been active on your group, and it's been a tough few weeks for you. And again, I offered him, do you want to see the questions? He said no, and I said, right, but some of them I'm probably going to ask you the exact same question you asked before, and other ones are probably going to be similar. I'll try to put my own spin in it. So yeah, Chris, you're not wrong. So the next thing I want to ask you, actually, I want to just address something here first of all. Right, do we have? Yeah, we do.
Let's fucking go.
All right, good stuff. Right, so we do have a super chat. Getting mileage out of that one. It's funny. Like I was trying to look back over the stream. I knew you had offered me to be part of the beta test group, and I think I asked you like 2 or 3 times. So if I get it and there's something wrong with it, will you replace it? And you said, yeah. And I was like, who pays for shipping? And you said you. And when I was looking through it, Dirk Diggler's stunt double. Every time I see this, I want to rewatch Boogie Nights, and I still haven't rewatched Boogie Nights. But he did drop a super chat the last time as well. So respectfully, Joost. Okay, again, this is respectfully. He's it's nothing personal. He's saying, I don't like the idea of gluing the logo on the wheels. Is there anything else we can do if the magnets fail?
Well, magnets don't fail. So it's either the magnets or using the 3M. And the 3M, it's not like liquid glue, right? So it's like it's really strong glue in the form of double-sided transparent tape in the shape of whatever you want it to be. So it's like the 3M stuff is brilliant. And I have used it to glue stuff on cars, as well as we use it internally. But it's like dry glue in the way that it doesn't leak. You don't have to worry about drops coming or squeeze out or anything like that. It's super simple. You just peel off the 3M and stick the thing, the logo on the wheel, and you're done. All you have to do is make sure it's centered, and that's it. You don't like that? This is Dirk Dickler. Stunt Global is one of the guys and one of the reasons why we thought magnets would be a better idea. Mm-hmm. And there are 5 magnets in your box.
Yeah. When you said magnets don't fail, I think what he means is, what if the magnets aren't strong enough to hold on the die-cast metal bat symbol? Maybe, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think maybe that's what he's saying. But
they won't fall down. Yeah. It's just that they might, depending on where you live and the humidity, they might slide a little. Then you'll have to readjust it.
I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to stick them on because I've used that before and it's very, very strong. In fact, Dan from 6 Scale Reviews is coming to Dublin in 2 weeks' time, and I'm going to bring a roll of that, and I'm actually going to tape him to the side of the Guinness factory and just leave him there. Use all with 3M tape, like so. Yeah, trust me. I'll live stream it as well. Just for it'd be good. Research. Okay, so the next question I have, so. The Tumbler. The last time we spoke, I was a bit shocked to see the announcement of the Tumbler. I know it's not an official announcement because you're taking in the data as you always do. You are going to put out. I think it was you're going to pitch that against the 97 Batman and see which one will win out in the votes. And then when you gather your data and you think that's the one, you consider doing it. Now the last time we spoke, you said, I'm quoting you, and I think this is quite funny. I asked about the Tumbler. And I said, would you ever consider doing the Tumbler? And he said, you know what? The Hot Toys did a very decent job. Now, you didn't say they knocked it out of the park, to be fair. They did. But you said they did a very decent job. And it gave me a bit more confidence because I have the Hot Toys Tumbler in the next room. And I don't think I'd be able to afford the Jazzinc Tumbler after the 89 and stuff like that. I've got a budget the same as everyone else. And you did say they're pretty close, but it's still possibly underscaled. And you did give them kudos. You said, they've done a pretty good job on that, I felt, but you said pretty close, but underscaled. What makes you want to do the Tumbler now? What had changed and why the announcement say now? Okay, so there's a couple of things there. I still think the Tumbler is one of their best vehicles. It's very detailed. There's much more accuracy. The difference between our Tumbler and the 89, their Tumbler and our Tumbler is not going to be as drastic as our 89 and the Hot Toys 89. If you put them together, everyone can see that. For the Tumbler, you have to be a fan. And I didn't see the point until I found an angle, and I kept being asked about this. And I didn't see an angle where I could offer enough of a difference to make people want to buy it. You did say that. You said it had to be worth your while. You'd have to give them like something more. I'm paraphrasing there, but sorry. Yeah, exactly. So just the scale thing alone wasn't enough. And a couple of things happened since then. So I've seen what the 89 did, even though there was an option available that's very good for the money at half the price. And like I said, we sold close to 2,500 and we got 280 people, 70 people on the wait list. So, and that grows every day. So that opened my eyes to, okay, maybe this is different markets and different products for people with different levels of passion for this specific vehicle. But the other thing that happened is we started learning how to do die cast for the 89 and even more so for the 1966 Bat Cycle, right? So there's going to be a lot more die cast than that. And then we were talking to the supplier who specializes in the die cast, and they were like, there's a limit to what you can do with die cast, and it's about 81 centimeters. And I was like, come on, that is the size of the Tumbler. So if you want to do a die cast Batmobile, and I've been asked about that a million times, the Tumbler is the only one. So now we could upgrade the Tumbler to the 8 to 10% scale difference that is required
We could upgrade the interior. There's a lot to be gained there. We could upgrade the paint job to be more of the dark gray, black variation, weathered, like we did on the 2022. It shouldn't be all standard black. Weathered tires, correct tires. Add some of our electronics and other features, and then maybe it could be a serious and viable project. And so I thought, let's put that to a vote. And the other thing is, so I need one big project to make the smaller ones work. What are the smaller ones? Well, the 9095 is a smaller one with like 500 worldwide. The BVS and Justice League with 250 each. The 1966 Bat Cycle, which is probably not going to be much more than 600, maybe 700. We haven't closed pre-orders yet, but that's what it looks to be, right? So the big ones help us to survive. So the 1966, the 1989 Batmobile, and I need a new one, and I think the Tumbler might be it. So all those things together, I thought, let's put it to a vote, and I think the voting also proves that, because we've got over 500 votes alone for the Tumbler, and that's just the votes, and that's just our closed Facebook group. That's more votes than I got on the animated series Batmobile. That's more votes than I got on the 1966 Bat Cycle. That's more than I got on the 1968 Batmobile. So those things together make me think this is a viable project. Yeah, I think that answers your question.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Good stuff. I'm just going to address a few chats here, if that's all right. Yeah. So who do we have? So we just got a...
Let's fucking go!
So people are being very generous today. We have Dave here, X-Man Supreme. Back on the ship. Chief Booker used to say, if they ain't bitching, they ain't happy. That's any of it is. Love your vehicles, Joe. So you got support there. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Magnets is a good option. Stops any breakages during shipping.
Yes.
Shark Forge saying, I used 3M tape my own models and it's incredible, simple and reliable. Okay, so Weblove 1122. Hello everyone, and Joost. Sorry I'm late at work. No need for apologies. You're here. I've been one of Jazzinc supporters that have been waiting on updates on the 89 Batmobile in 1/12 scale. Are you able to provide us an update? Is that actually a thing? Or also 195 people watching live, much appreciated. 5 more people would be absolutely great. Yeah. So
yeah, I do want to try 1/12 scale one more time. So 1/12 scale is one of the things I've been asked about a lot as well, even though not so much more now, as much more in the past. And I've tried it twice and it has not worked out. And people keep saying, dude, there is a market for this, for your brand of accuracy and eye for detail and in 12 scale. But it's a bit of a catch-22, because to be viable in the 12 scale market, your price has to be really low. And I mean much lower than I've tried before, because we offered our BVS Batmobiles at $300 something, which is like a quarter of the price of the full 6 scale model. So it's priced accurately, but we still have the last few of those in stock after all those years, right? And we've only made 500 of them. So that's ridiculous. 500 over 4 or 5 years, I don't remember how long, is really ridiculous. So I lost money on that, basically. I've tried it for a Star Wars thing before that, also very cheaply priced. We had something for $150, a Tantive diorama. I don't think we sold more than 10. So I want to try it one more time and see if we can get to the like $200, $250 price point, but you need thousands of orders to make that work. And so that's where we thought maybe Kickstarter. And then if we don't get to the numbers we need to make that price point, we don't have to cancel thousands of orders, because my wife would kill me. But I did talk to somebody with experience. He said, well, Kickstarter is quite expensive. There's a lot of hidden fees in the payment processing and all that sort of thing, and the shipping, which is all like, you have to do it through them. So I might look at one of the other platforms for that. But anyway, long story short, we want to try it one more time. 89, probably Batmobile, maybe 89 Batwing. People keep asking for both. I don't know which one to try first. And so we're working on a prototype for the 12 scale, and I hope to have that ready sometime in November or December.
Cool. It's like we're only scratching the surface here, because you sound busy. There's other things that I know people in the chat want to be talking about. We will be talking about, but that's news to me. The 12 scale stuff. Just gonna address something else. What do we got here?
Let's fucking go.
Okay, so we got the Illuminati. So you mentioned this is the best body for the budget, but this is the most backed project. In the future, will you forego extras like spinning turbine or carpets to achieve a perfect body? Big fan, by the way. So
No. For the budget, if you want a perfect body, I think, especially on something with black paint, we might have to double the price. I kid you not. I mean, this has already taken 6 months. So carpets and a spinning turbine, like $10. That doesn't get you very far on this. So, yeah, no. Plus, the movie vehicle had their pictures where you can see the same waviness. I mean, even the movie vehicle, which cost $250,000 to make, has that. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
I love watching these shows. I watched Kundig's Customs on, I think it's HBO, and it's that really high-end show quality car, but they spend like 16 or to 18 months on a vehicle, costs $750,000 to make it, and then you get a perfect paint job. You get the perfect everything. I mean, so yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Cool. Thanks for that, and thanks for the super chat. Obviously, again, we have 198 people watching live. That's amazing. If you're watching the replay, that's also amazing. Consider hitting a like, subscribe, leave me a troll comment. It's great for the algorithm, and I will respond. So we're going to go on to the next question, which we have for you. So this one, okay, that's a perfect segue. How do you deal with negativity? As in, I'm not talking about constructive feedback. Like, I appreciate some of the questions that I'm asking here. Some of the questions you asked last time could seem like I'm kind of out to get you or anything like that, and that's definitely not it. It's basically I'm asking questions. It's kind of almost from a selfish point of view, because I have the 89 and it is expensive, and I want to know if it's going to come pristine. I think that's a fair enough comment to make, and I think I'm okay to be having those concerns because I'm a customer. But how do you deal with like actual just negativity? I'm not talking about constructive feedback. I'm talking about like the trolls, the anonymous accounts, the the people who want you to fail. Joost, how do you deal with that?
It really depends on my day and my mood. Recently, one of those guys posted a reply in the Mr. Mom comparison video with where he compared it to Hot Toys, and he wrote, better get that vehicle out of the sun because Jazzinc by Dioramas vehicles melt in the sun. And then that just makes me laugh.
Because they're made of chocolate.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you know?
Okay, right.
Oh, that's awkward. Oh, yes, they are made of chocolate. Of course, yeah. No, so then that makes me laugh. More evil, sinister kind of lies make me upset. You know what I do? I work out. That helps.
Yeah.
I have to work out 4 times a week just to keep up with running this company and keep up with the constant requests for my attention. I kid you not. I have 2 days where I swim. I swim 80 laps twice.
80 laps, is it?
Yeah, twice a week.
Is that like a 25 or 50 meter swim pool?
It's 25 meters, so that's 2 kilometers.
So that's 2K. Yeah, that's 2K. I use a 64 is kind of like I go to, because it's a mile, like, but I get 2K is that's you'll feel that. Fair play.
Yeah. So that I do road cycling at least once, maybe twice a week, and I go to the gym on Saturdays to work on strength. That works to clear my head, especially the swimming, because you're like 40 minutes nonstop, 35 nonstop, doing laps, and you have nothing but your. So the greatest ideas always come there as well. So it's almost meditative.
True. Yeah.
So
and there's nothing better than, like, okay, if you go to the gym and, you know, after a shower and everything, you will feel better. If you go for a run, you'll feel better. But there's nothing better than after a swim.
Exactly.
Like, it is the most relaxed I think you'll ever feel. Even like your breathing's better. You're just relaxing. The best sleep ever after a swim.
Yeah. If you've ever had a Xanax to relax you, I've had that once.
Never, but go on.
There's the same. It's the same effect. Like, oh, I'm so relaxed. Like after a swim. It's like that. It's great. Anyway. So that's
I've actually had a Xanax, but you're selling it to me, definitely.
no, just go for a swim. It's cheaper, better, and less addictive.
True. So Ryan or Jetta Patrol, you know this guy. He makes videos, do you know? I like Ryan. I've been on his channel once and he came on this. Go on. Sorry.
Did you see the pictures he took this weekend? He set the alarm for 4 a.m. not to get run over, but he took some amazing photos of his of our 1989.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm looking forward to the review. I've been on Ryan's channel once and he was on my one once, but I just enjoy his content. I always have a good production. So thanks for being here. 112 collectors don't want to spend money on these types of items. Possibly, maybe there's not enough of a market as at 1/6 scale. It's kind of in a way ties in what you're saying. You've got to hit a price point of what, your $250, so you'd have to sell thousands to make it viable. Would that be kind of the gist of it, or in a nutshell? Yeah,
well, you'll just give it one more shot because people have been asking. I'll give them a shot. Big public platform so that they know they can trust it. Something like I said, like Kickstarter. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then I'm done talking about it. I'm not trying it anymore. And if it's successful, then we can move on to the 12 scale 1966 in perfect rendition, or like I said, the 1989 Batwing in 12 scale. That might even work for some 6 scale customers as well who don't have the space. So anyway,
true. And I think Hot Toys they showed a prototype of a 112 Batwing, but they're probably never going to do that. Let's be honest. No. But we got a super chat, and this is from, I think I'm a bit behind here. This is from Trevor. Trevor is a channel member, and he also streams at me usually on Monday nights. He's an absolute gentleman. He has his own channel called 1/6 Shooter. I know it's a licensing issue with Mad Max. Oh, by the way, we're not getting through this stream without me mentioning RoboCop, but look, I'm going to put that aside. I believe like the 107 time is the sweet spot to ask you, but I know it's a licensing issue with Mad Max, but how about a Ford Falcon XB GT with some modifications in exclamation marks?
Maybe. But right now I have so many other I have other things. I haven't thought about doing this, and I would have to get the license from Ford. I think it's probably not going to work because if I get the license from Ford, then they will want to approve what I did, and they're going to see that it's not accurate to their Ford Falcon. So I don't think that's viable. It's a cool thought, but it's not going to happen.
That's fair. Thanks very much, Trevor, for the $4.99 super chat. Do you know this person? I would have had to guess. I'd say it's your wife. Would that be correct?
Hey, yeah, that's my wife.
How do I pronounce the first name? Is it Jan?
Yannicka.
Yannicka. Yeah, Yannicka.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hi, Yannicka. How are you? Nice to meet you or digitally meet you. I wouldn't go that far. That has to be in relation to the Xanax, no?
I don't know.
Okay, but we'll need context in that. But thanks very much for the comment. Do appreciate the engagement there. Okay, let's get another question here. Is it time? Is it time for the snap?
Catwoman? Oh, no, you're not going to snap again.
I think it's time for the snap. Joost loved it so much. He said, when I asked, would you come back on the show? He said, under conditions that you give me impossible tasks to things to choose between. So we've invited him to the snap. Just before we go into the snap here, I just want to remind you as well, we are doing a channel member giveaway. When I first started this channel, the thought of having 1,000 subs was a pipe dream. The idea of getting monetized was a bigger pipe dream. And the idea that people would actually support the channel by giving small donations, whether it's super chats or becoming a channel member once a month, it is humbling. I do appreciate it, and I'm trying to give back as much as I can. So we're going to do a channel member giveaway on the Hope Show on Monday, the 21st of October. That's the weekly live stream I do on Mondays at 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which would be 3 p.m. East Coast or midday Pacific Standard Time. They say don't do maths on the radio, but I have to think really hard when I do that. Okay, so these are the companies that have sponsored or donated something for the giveaway. We've got Fusion Reactors light up kits. They've donated a Fusion Reactor light up kit for the Mark III 2.0 behind me. So that's one of the prizes. Another prize then, they've also donated an LED Luke Skywalker 1/6 scale lightsaber. Luke Light, that's obviously my photo of my background behind. These are the custom lights for the IKEA Bledens that I have behind me, or the IKEA Detolfs, or the IKEA Millsbow. They're offering $168 store credit. That number, they said, that's enough to fully kit out 2 Detolfs with channels and light up kits. And finally, Line Rock Toys have donated a brand new inbox. I think this is the TMS 070 Axe Woves. So that's Monday, the 21st of October, live in the Hope Show. You have to be subscribed, you have to be a channel member, and you have to be kind of present for the giveaway. So I'm going to show Joost 2 images. And he has to choose which one is going to Thanos snap out of existence and he can never watch again. So they're movies. I've decided to pit really good movies against their superior sequels. Now that's an opinion. That's an opinion. You mightn't agree with me there, and I'm not even sure, depending on the day of the week, if I would even agree either. But if you had to snap one of these away and never watch it again, which one would it be?
It has to be Terminator 1. Sorry. I think Terminator 2 is better.
Okay. And you know what? Depending on what day of the week you would ask me, I will give you a different answer. Because I just don't know. Sometimes I'm like, no, it's the original classic. He's it's kind of like a horror sci-fi. He's a cold-blooded killer. He's really scary. And then the other one is just like, it's just a juggernaut, isn't it? But no, that was an easy one for you. You were kind of like, no,
that wasn't easy for me. Yeah,
fair.
Yeah, I gotta go original.
You'd snap the original or keep the original?
No, keep the original, snap the second one.
Interesting. In my mood now, I would snap the original Terminator and keep T2. And I think I'd snap the original Alien and keep Aliens. But again, that could be different next week. Okay, so these aren't just, I'm getting soft to my old age.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, sorry, this interview is over. Got to go now. No. This is a tough one because I don't want to give up any of my favorite Star Wars movies, but it's got to be snap the original Star Wars and keep Empire, because that, I think, is in my top 3 of favorite movies of all time.
Fair.
So has to be that way.
I would agree. And up until like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'd never seen any of these in the cinema because I was born in 1983 and that's when Jedi came out, and I didn't get to see the special editions when I don't know, I was 14 or something like that. My local cinema took a week each and showed A New Hope for a week, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. Absolutely loved it, but particularly Empire on the big screen. The Vader Luke fight, the iconic moments, the hot battle, just, and it was kind of in the midst of like all that stuff that was happening with the 89 and stuff like that, and it was just nice to unplug and go, this is why I love this hobby. This is the root of it here, right on the screen. So that was pretty cool. But okay, right, so you survived that. You made it look easy. Okay, I'll know for the next time. Right,
you can ratchet it up again a bit. The last ones were nasty. These ones were doable.
Damn, I think I got rid of all my nastiness. So, just one of the reasons, say again, you very, very kindly offered me to be part of the beta test batch, and I asked you a million questions because obviously I'm like concerned because like contrary to opinions, all those people, they have to pay full price. Like I still had to pay the full price, and because I'm in Ireland, this is it's $1,500, but then there's 23% VAT that I had to pay, which Joost has absolutely no control over. That's just like EU law or Irish law or something like that. Yep. And then there's the shipping. And because that one was coming from Asia, I was worried that maybe Irish customs would see that and go, no, this comes from Asia. This is the value. We're going to sting you again with more VAT because in Ireland, I've already the 23% VAT, because your website recognizes I'm in Ireland. It builds that into my payment plan. And that's fine because then I won't get stung with it's legal. But because it's in the EU, I won't get caught for what's called customs tax, because a lot of the time on my streams I say I don't buy from Sideshow because I just call it like import charges. But that's a combination of 23% VAT and customs. So it's all lumped together. But because I paid my 23% VAT via your site, and because it's in the EU, I shouldn't get stung with anything else. But if it's coming from Asia, I was just worried that would be really hard for me to explain to customs if anything went wrong, and they're difficult to deal with. And I said, you know what, I'm going to wait until the Netherlands. So my question is, but I really do appreciate the offer, obviously. My question is, say like, how long have you been set up? And I know you have a factory in Netherlands, and now you work with a factory in Asia. Like, was that something that you developed recently, or how long has that been going on? Or have you, like, say, was that something maybe that you looked at for a while, because I think you're working with Asian companies for the Michelle Pfeiffer, which we will get to.
Yeah. Oh, no. So I've been, this is another thing that's been confusing to people. So we've been set up this way since the very first Justice Mobile. And we've since then changed partners, and ever since the 1966 it's the same. But then we would get it in the Netherlands and then do the final thing, and then quality control check, pack and ship, right? Which is, we've now come to the point where with the 2022, there were like 3 or 4 people who had an issue in the first batch with some fingerprints, but other than that, we've had 0 problems with the 2022, 0 problems with the bat signal, problems with the 1995, except for some minor paint rub on the rear logo, but we fixed that as well. So that's been fixed all this time. And now for this batch, we thought, what if we fly out the Dutch people to the Asia factory so that we can do the test batch, and so the final fit, finish, assembly, quality control and packing by the Dutch team over there, and send out the test batch that way. So that's the only thing that's different now, but we'll still get things the way we. So if we do that, we then have the sea shipping option, because this is the largest and the heaviest box that we've had so far. With the sea shipping option straight from Asia, we're saving anyone outside of the EU anywhere between $100 and $200 in shipping cost.
The overseas people.
The overseas people. There you go.
Okay. Good stuff. There are some people here. They've dropped some super chats, and they're kind of giving me gentle nudges to read out their super chats. So I suppose I better do that, seeing as they're paying. Okay, so although I don't actually, Joost, I don't actually read out all super chats. I do screen them first. So, like, just maybe that's a conversation for another day. But we'll have a look. And so we've got a few there. We've got Boba Fettuccini. He is a channel member and a supporter of the channel for a long time. Mighty Joost, any updates on the 66 Batman figures?
So right now we're in development of the first 3, which is Catwoman, animated series Batman, and and Danny DeVito Penguin. As soon as those are done, we will start development on one of the Batman figures for 66.
Oh, okay. So you said Danny DeVito Penguin, so Batman Returns. And the one you said before that, sorry, was that?
The animated series Batman figure.
For the Caro. That makes perfect sense. Okay, good stuff. Boba, thank you very much. We have another. This guy's just a gentleman. Do you know Collector Joey?
Yeah. He was
Nice guy.
part of that. Yeah. He's a nice guy.
He was on. Yeah, he was on. On Miguel's interview. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Last Saturday. Yep.
I give my arm for a Jurassic Park Explorer. So would Brick. That's like that's out there.
Yeah,
That's out there.
I get this question every stream. I want the Universal license, and we're in talks, but they're not very eager or fast or whatever. It takes a long time because I need the Jurassic. So for the Universal license to work, I think just Kit and maybe one or two of the figures is not going to be enough. So the combination with Jurassic Park makes a lot of sense. And then the Jurassic Park Explorer, the Jeep, would be one of the first things we do. So I heard you working on it. It's all with Universal now.
That must be really frustrating. Like when you really want to make something and you're kind of, if it's just a straight no, it's like, okay, we want something else. But there's kind of like a glimmer and you're kind of emailing them and you're showing them what you make. And is it frustrating when things are just not happening as fast as you want them to happen?
Yeah. And I'm like, so on the one hand, the licensing deal is a weird kind of world because on the one hand, there's a lot of events. Like in London, there's going to be later this month. It's going to be the licensing event to get for licensors to get more licensees and just to get more product out there. And then there's Warner Brothers events that push me to make product. So what you need to know for Universal is I've gotten financing so that I can offer them a significant. All I can say is significant minimum guarantee. And a minimum guarantee in licensing means even if I don't sell a single vehicle or a single figure, you still get your money.
Right. Okay.
So
it's kind of like
emailed them that, so I can guarantee you this much upfront, which is actually more than I had to pay Warner Brothers as a minimum guarantee for our first contract, significantly more. And they were like, yeah, okay, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's like
they're playing hard to get.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Yeah. So this is another one then. Thank you very much to Web's Love 1122 for the $5 chat. In all honesty, Joost, I would prefer a 1/6 kit. I know that the conversation has been around kit before. I think Michael Knight combo or 1/6 Batman Returns Penguin Beal over anything 1/12. And then he just says, "You rock."
Thank you.
Was kit was something that was that? I think the last time you were looking into it, or there was something there that wasn't dead in the water, was it?
No, that's what I was just talking about. That's part of the Universal deal.
I see now. I understand. So this is something that you... Oh, wait, sorry. When you said you made them an offer that was like, you're guaranteed this and much, I thought that was to do with Jurassic Park. No, that was...
Yeah, but that's Jurassic Park plus Knight Rider. Those two together.
No, I'm with you. Sorry. I carried the two on that one. Yeah, super. No, that makes sense.
Carry the two on that one,
Yeah. That's when I'm a little slow. That's what I say. Like, need to carry the two. The Illuminati, thanks very much for the $9.99 super chat. We greatly appreciate it. We need to double the price, 3,000 to have the perfect body, but Hot Toys is 720 with the perfect body. I don't know, it's underscaled. In my opinion, it seems you were too late in the game to fix the dimples and use the budget excuse. No, that's a bit harsh because the Hot Toys one isn't the perfect body, and I'm not throwing shade at it, but it is underscaled.
I'm guessing you missed the beginning of the stream, so maybe go back to that.
I would say so. Yeah. I disagree with you on this, but I do appreciate the super chat. But yeah, go back and watch the start of the stream. Brick, this man's after a Jurassic Park. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, to the Illuminati, please just email me, get all your money back, and be done with this because we're not going to be happy together. Oh,
fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
We hammered that point home at the start.
I've been saying it for weeks now. All right, I'm done with it.
You said you're a completionist. Are you willing to do Penguin's Duckmobile? I thought Brick was surely going to be on about the Jurassic Park Jeep, but Are you interested in doing the Duckmobile? I can't see you doing it, but you make the decisions. I'm just.
Well, so it all depends on how the launch goes of the Catwoman and the Penguin figure.
Mm-hmm.
If that goes, because I've heard crazy numbers come from Kit Chen from 16 Kit, at where he expects this to go, or Todd from Spec Fiction, and they know the market. So if what they're saying is true, then maybe the Duckmobile is on the table. All I can say is, one of the fans recently sent me a 3D scan of the Duckmobile, so I already have the files. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Thanks very much, Brick. I do appreciate that. I genuinely thought that when I saw your name pop up with the logo in the super chat, I genuinely thought that was going to be about the Jazzinc Jeep. But I do appreciate the support in the super chat as well. I have no idea what he's talking about, but Jose is a mod. He's a channel member. He's a panel member, and he said, "Ask Joost about plussing figures, patent pending." I have no idea. Was he part of the Miguel chat or something like that?
No.
Maybe he
I'm
was probably in the chat.
The last time we did. Somebody had an idea with just the like busts or something. I'm forget.
Not sure.
Jose,
if Jose maybe adds in some clarity on that,
we need some context.
Cool. So where are we now? So okay, let's talk about Catwoman. I've got a million questions about Catwoman. That's what the people want to see. Are you happy enough to show some photos that you've not shown before, or is that a thing?
Yes.
Or would you prefer? Brilliant. Okay.
I've kept them for you, and I've let the people know if they want to see them, they have to watch the stream. How many people in the stream right now?
There's 188 people in the stream.
Yep. Cool.
So, okay. So, you're able to toggle through these? You've got control of this, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That looks incredible.
Thank you. So, basically, we're looking to do, so for the people who don't know anything, we're looking to do two figures for Catwoman. So the clean and the battle damaged version. What you're looking at here is the battle damaged version, and then hang on, the other one. So does that not work? Then I'll show the clean version. That is this one. Yes.
Okay.
So you're seeing a clean figure here. Let's see what happens if I zoom in. Here we go. So this is the clean figure with the smirking, smiling sculpt. But what you're also seeing here is part of the 2-pack. So the 2-pack is the only thing that will have this back wall in here, because I've got a lot of feedback where most people say I leave dioramas because I have limited space. I leave them in the box, so I want to be able to opt out. So we're going to be offering a basic clean version and a basic deluxe, a basic battle damaged version. Those will come with the display base you see here, and the nameplate, and then a single sculpt, probably the smirking one for the clean Catwoman. Then if you get the DX version, you get 2 more head sculpts, you get an extra whip, so not just a wired whip but also a rolled whip you can just put all around the body. You get the miniature newspaper, and you get 2 black cats. That's the DX version. And then if you get the 2-pack with the clean and the battle damage DXs, so the 2-pack is only going to be in DX version, that will add your back wall with the light up hell here and the curtains and all that sort of thing. Yeah? Okay.
So I'm going to see if I can go through all that again. So in total, there's 5 SKUs.
For now, yes. Yes.
So that would be the clean version, non-DX.
Yes.
The clean version DX, which comes with a total of 3 head sculpts.
Yes.
And other extras.
Yes.
The normal battle damaged.
Yes.
The battle damaged DX, which again comes with 3 different sculpts total.
Yes.
And then there's the 2-pack, which comes with the Hell Here diorama.
Yes. And then, so the people who want to opt out of the diorama but want everything else, they can just buy the 2 DXs. That's the thinking.
Okay. And the DXs, they don't come with... Did you say they come with some sort of a diorama or no diorama, or is it a standard?
Just the base. Just the base with the
snow
covered base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you say that the Hell Here thing actually, is that going to light up?
Yes.
Very cool. Okay. So this, like, because originally I was kind of going, well, I suppose I don't need... I think, was it originally the 2-pack was going to come with 2 of the dioramas or something?
No, there were never 2 dioramas. So it's always just the Hell Here thing. And I've been listening to the feedback on Collector Freaks and on all the different Facebook groups. And so there were too many people who were like, I don't want to pay for the diorama because I'll leave it in the box. I don't have the space.
Right. Okay.
I'm like, fair enough. So I'm thinking of a way to have everybody have their cake and eat it too. So if you're happy with the basic figure, you just get the basic line. If you want everything except the diorama, you just buy either one of the DXs or both of the DXs. And if you want the diorama, you just buy the 2-pack. That's okay. Basically what we're thinking.
Gotcha. So if you want that Hell Here light up thing, you got to get the 2-pack.
Yeah, that's basically that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you questions that you mightn't have exact answers now. You might want to answer them. You might be able to give me ballpark figures. I'll take what I can get. What would, price-wise, what are you thinking for the 2-pack with the Hell Here diorama? Do you have an approximate ballpark or anything like that?
No.
Okay,
so basically, for the basic figure, we want to go for $300.
Okay.
But how much the rest will cost? So the DX and the 2-pack, I don't know. I don't want to say anything. So we're still aiming for a September 30th pre-order, and the pre-order date. So it might be a few days late if we don't make it, but everything looks like it might just fit for the September 30th launch for all 5 SKUs. And then also, I think the sitting Batman figure for the Batmobile and the Batwing will go up for pre-order then as well. And then I'll be able to share the prices. And and then this is a good point, Brad Koski. So last minute we were blocked in North America by you know who, and so you can buy worldwide. You can buy from us directly on the site. That's going to be the cheapest option. But if you're in North America, so not Mexico, but so let's say USA, Canada, you'll have to go either to 1/6 kit or Spec Fiction.
So like, are you? Okay, yeah, I'm just going to ask a question. Are you in any way worried that Hot Toys might just do this?
Worried? No.
Okay. Do you think they will?
Yeah.
Because they have a habit of someone's doing the vultures and then teasing the vulture but not doing it. Someone's doing the 22, teasing the 22 but not doing it. And someone's doing XYZ. And then sometimes they actually do that thing as well. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people saying now with the 85th anniversary, although got those 2 things that they announced there the other day for the 85th, it's like, what were they thinking? But like, they could very well see, okay, we're just getting a bit of traction. We're doing a Batman Returns 2.0. Let's just do a fifer. Which probably would affect your sales.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't know yet, but I mean, because you'd have people who are just like, no, I don't want to. They only buy Hot Toys and they don't own any In-Art or Big Chief Studio or Jazzinc or whatever, and they stick to what they know and just want that. Okay, so and so you kind of accepted that's just a risk you're going to have to willing to take.
There's no way around that. They've done it so many times before now that it's very, very possible. I'm not going to say likely, it's possible that they're going to do that. So we'll just have to accept that. We've taken up the gauntlet with the 1989 Batmobile, and we've seen there's 2 markets basically for both. So yeah, I think it will be fine. Of course, it's going to hurt sales somewhat, but then again, I think when people see what we do versus what Hot Toys can do, and that's again basically because I have way more budget to spend on actual figures than they can, the way they're set up. That's never going to change. No, well, never. That's not going to change anytime soon.
Okay. Brick just says, could you buy the diorama separate? But I think we answered this question already. It's locked behind the 2-pack. That's the incentive to get the 2-pack. Would that be right?
Yeah. Plus, we're already at 5 SKUs. We don't want to make it 6. So, no.
Yeah. Okay. So then there's just in terms of like, so we've 5 SKUs. You kind of said you're trying to get it for 300 for the basic. Would that be like 300 for the basic clean and battle damage, like each?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And one of the questions was when can we expect a PO, but you've already answered that. You're hoping the end of September. Is that okay?
Yeah, September 30th. So in about 11 days. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Excellent. So the I'm like delighted because I can buy from you directly, can't I? Because I'm in the EU. Is that how it works?
Yep.
Okay. So
that's
then
how it works.
people. So like because
basically everyone. Yeah.
Except the Americans.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Except the USA, Canada. Yeah.
Man, and that wasn't Warner Brothers. That was they who will not be named. Is it?
Yeah. Because so. I think I've explained this before in other interviews, but it's fun to go over this. So basically, Warner Brothers has become a big fan of what we do in the last 3 years, and so they asked for the new contract, which started last summer, the next 3 years to expand. They had a couple of suggestions. We added figures, and then at the last minute, North America was like, we have to say no to the direct sales of figures. And then we actually, the people at, so there's Warner Brothers Americas, there's Warner Brothers Europe, Middle East, Asia, Africa, and then there's Asia Pacific, right? So there's 3 big regions in Warner Brothers for the consumer products. And so there's 3 CEOs. So, and then of course, the American one is the number 1, and the Europe CEO is the number 2 guy in Warner Brothers Consumer Products. He's a big fan. I met him personally a couple of times. He loves what we do, and he hadn't even seen this. He flew over to the United States. He made a presentation to show that we were not interested in competing and not doing what the others are doing, where we make the same figure as Hot Toys and try to compete. No, we're interested in doing the supporting characters, doing the stuff that no one's done before. Why can't we allow both? Because they're not going to bite each other. As soon as Hot Toys announced the 1997 Batman and Robin, we scratched them from our list, right? So there's no reason. Didn't matter. So we got the number 2 guy at Warner Bros. trying to make this work, and he couldn't. Now he did say, so the number 1 guy for the Americas did say the Hot Toys contract is up for renewal in about from now it's about 12 months, and then we could pitch
the Warner
again.
Brothers Hot Toys Warner Brothers or Hot Toys Batman?
No, Hot Toys Warner Brothers.
Okay, right, okay.
So that's Batman and everything else Warner Brothers. So he did say we could pitch again in about a year, and until then, I cannot sell directly to North America. And I've said, okay, I'll stay in my lane, but if the pitch in about a year gets the same result, I will no longer stay in my lane, because I've been asked after what do they call that? The new 1989 Batman, they call it the Avocado Batman. They asked, could I make a screen accurate 1989? Could I make a screen accurate Batman Begins? But that hasn't been done. And for now, I'm saying no, because I want to be a good boy, and I want to show guys I'm not interested in competing. But if they want to be like this in a year, then fine. I'll start.
All fair and love and more.
Yeah. Then I'm done playing nice. Then I'm done.
I have that Batman on order, the 2.0, but I mean, yeah, I was disappointed when I saw it. I thought the likeness took us a step away from Keaton compared to its older DX09 counterpart, and the texture does bother me. I've already got a custom cape for it because I knew that was inevitable. But I'm going to get it. I'm going to put it next to the Jazzinc 89 and we'll see. But I wouldn't rule out going back and get the DX09, but I am a bit disappointed by that. But look, sure, we'll see what happens. Carlos says, a diorama base, rooted hair, seamless body, metal claws, multiple sculpts, LEDs for all 310. I think
No.
the 310 was for the base versions without the extra sculpts, and the LEDs are just in the diorama for the 2-pack, I think.
Yeah.
Would that be right?
Yeah, he's right, except so it is a seamless body. We probably go for die-cast claws unless we have to give up too much detail, so that's not 100% certain, because I've seen a lot of feedback where people say, no, I don't care so much for the metal claws and they might rip the suit, blah, blah, blah. So we're still going back and forth on the metal claws based on the feedback. But yeah, so no back at no light up diorama and no what was the other thing he said? No multiple sculpts on the basic version for $300.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay. Right. Sorry, just got a bit distracted there. So then with the look, this yeah, I gotta say, like, that. Can you put up the close up of the face with the battle damaged one?
So this is battle damage as well. So there's 2 close ups for the battle damaged faces. So this one is a battle damaged face.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sure which to pick for the basic version because we got 3 head sculpts, and the third you're not even seeing here. But this is definitely a DX
I love
option.
That. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I just I'm gonna wait until I see the official, say, announcement photos and the pricing and all that. That's just how I operate, and I want to just see everything and weigh up what's right for me, because like the way I don't buy something unless I know exactly how I'm going to display it. And I have the DX08 Jack Nicholson Joker. I don't think that needs a 2.0. I think it looks incredible. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering whether to see if I get when I get the 89 2.0, throw the Jackson Jew cape on and hopefully futz it around and make it look good. But the obviously they would need to be together. So I'm wondering, do I pose the 2 of them with the 89 down the module case, because I bought new risers. I won't get into it, but basically there's going to be module cases underneath the lead-ins, and this is all going to shift a bit higher. I'm looking forward to that. But do I pose the 2 of them next to the Batmobile, or do I pose the 2 of them downstairs in my movie icons display, and when they inevitably do a Batman Returns 2.0, get that, and then have the Catwoman next to the Batmobile as well? So first world problems, Joost. First world problems. Like, that's a good problem to have, but I'm going to wait until I see it. I do like the idea of the hell here diorama just in the cubicle. I can't lose the single look. I just love it, and just I think again, just judging by the figure and the dimensions there, I think it would fit in one of these. Like, but it would just look really good. We nearly fill the whole thing. Just but obviously again I have to see the dimensions and see if it works. But yeah.
So the diorama is designed to just fit inside a D12.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. Now the bleedings are a little bit smaller, but again, that's a me problem. I'll have a look and see the dimensions. But yeah, I think you're like, obviously I want to get the 89 in hand and just see how I get on with that. But I think, yeah, I'm very, 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 very interested to see how these look. The pre-order photos and all the different SKUs and stuff like that. You were saying that the body here on this,
yes.
Is that a Fison body that's been manipulated? It's not the actual body that we're going to get. Would that be right?
That is correct. Yeah. So there's obviously not an off-the-shelf Fison body that's exactly like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, because she's one of a kind.
Yeah, but we do have the design of the exact Michelle Pfeiffer body, and so we're going to be investing in a custom seamless body that is exactly to Michelle Pfeiffer's dimensions for the actual release.
Mm-hmm. So basically you have the Fison now, which is just a stand-in, and then you're going to get a separate custom-made body for Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if it was you talking or someone was saying that the actual suit was so tight in her that she had to be like cut out of it or something like that in between. There was a few different suits, and they essentially got wrecked during filming because of the movement.
It's worse than that. Yeah. So basically, for every scene, she had to be vacuum sucked into the suit, and then after
that's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yeah.
And then after a couple of takes, that suit would be ruined. And she went through
what I heard.
She went through so many suits on the movie set. Yeah,
that's what I heard. So we've got Jeddah asking, does the DX come with a clutter of cats?
Yes. Well, I don't know what a clutter is. If clutter is 2, then yes, Jeddah.
Yeah.
The DX comes with 2 cats.
Carlos is saying, is there a price sheet? Not yet. There will be probably towards the end of September or sometime in October. From what I understand, I do have a question though. It's probably like my most pressing question about the 89 before I committed to it, or no, I think I had it on order that time. The last time, I think I just had it on order. The last time was, if something goes wrong and I get it and it's damaged, can I send it back and get away? And you put me that straight away. My most pressing issue with this, and it's not an issue. That's the wrong word. This looks so goddamn good. Like Hot Toys and InArt, and they all show us these fantastic prototypes. Like that Aragorn prototype, I've said it before, it is the best prototype I've ever seen for any 1/6 scale. And then when it came out, the figure came out great, but there definitely was a very, very slight downgrade. Now, when you say things like that, the InArt extremists come out of the woodwork as well. But this looks incredible. Like, can the company, again, can the manufacturers and companies and the sculptors, the people that replicate the paint apps and all this, like, how is there any way of how do we know it's going to come out as good as this? That's what I'm asking. Can we know?
Yeah, there's no 100% way to know. The suppliers on the short list have assured me they can. Mm-hmm. But if you say you think the Aragorn actual sculpt is a downgrade from the prototype, then you might be disappointed, because I thought, and I saw this in a Facebook group where people,
I mean, like a smidge. I'm a smidge.
So half of the picture was the prototype and half was the real thing, and I'm like, dude, excellent.
Yeah, I don't have it. To be fair, I don't have it. I don't have it. So yeah, and I think it looks. But the sculpt still.
Yeah, the sculpt is going to be 100% because we have. This is we've got the file for this. So we can 100% replicate the sculpt with the moving eyes. Those things are so realistic. The advantage of the moving eyes is that I'm not afraid of the paint app of the eyes. The rest is the rooted hair is not that hard because you don't have a full sculpt of hair. It's only strands, right? Mm-hmm. So then what it leaves is the paint app on the face. And we're going to do our goddamn almightiest to get as close to this as we can. And I think that should be possible. I really think so.
Can I ask you a stupid question that I probably should know? I should at this stage know the answer to. When your sculptor is sculpting this, is it a digital sculpt or is it like it's a digital sculpt? So they're doing this on a computer with like a software program and looking at multiple images of and then do they print it? Is like it's not like, I don't mean like some sort of a 3D print, but maybe that's not the right terminology.
No, it's a very high quality 3D print, and then that gets finished and that gets painted. So that's why I know technically, but that's probably invisible. There's going to be at least the same amount of detail when you actually produce these from a mold instead of 3D printing them from the digital file. So that's why I know the sculpt is pretty much 100% guaranteed, because this is the sculpt and that's what we're going to be making. And then with the eyes, you don't have to paint the eyes because you got these wonderful rotating eyes that are actual eyeballs. So that's not even in this prototype yet. So if we do that correctly, the eyes might look at least as good. And then it's just down to the paint app.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay. But it's definitely exciting. And I had someone ask me a question there. It's Again, like I'm blue in the face from saying that it's not worth my while buying from Sideshow because of nothing to do with Sideshow really. It's because of the EU law and VAT and import customs duties, whatever you want to call it. But now it's interesting because now the Americans are the ones who are overseas. But I would argue they're always overseas. But they now can't purchase this directly in the same way that they can't purchase most in-art figures directly, depending on the license. I think the Paul Atreides from Dune, I think that was worldwide, but like the likes of the Joker and most of them, they have to go through like a third-party reseller or something like that. So like, can they like the beauty of like what I loved about the 89, I wouldn't have been able to buy the 89 if it wasn't for the payment plan option. But the American customers now, they want to get this, so they're going to have to go through like the likes of Spec or 1/6 Kit. They don't have the option of payment plan unless 1/6 Kit and Spec offer the payment plan. Would that be correct? That like you don't have control over that, obviously. Okay, fair. So they're going to have to kind of like find, I suppose, whoever they're comfortable buying from, I guess.
I asked that question in preparation for tonight, at least to Todd from Spec Fiction, and they offer monthly automatic payment plans.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's an option then, Spec Fiction and Todd. Excellent stuff. Brilliant. Good stuff. Yeah. Back to this, it's gone full circle. Plussing figures is like accessory packs for existing figures, new head sculpt. Oh, right. Okay. Like the Grogu accessory pack? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested. Maybe like the duck could be an accessory pack, or maybe more umbrellas could be an accessory pack for the penguin. We're already looking into doing a penguin army. And maybe like because we did 4 head sculpts for the clean Catwoman. Well, we're going to be including 3. Maybe the 4th could be an accessory pack. But really, you can ask me again, Jose, like next year after New Year's when we know more about the sales of this Catwoman. And this is what I wanted to say to everyone who's listening. Everyone who places an early pre-order to get us to that higher number, we can do the same as with the 1989 and add extra features. Or upgrade other things, right? We do that all the time, and we're so committed to this that we do that for this as well. So, don't. The more people commit early, the more chance that we can do extra fun things with this.
Yeah, and I remember specifically, like I know you mentioned that last time with the 89, and I never really gave it much thought. I was like, oh, cool, I'm getting a Batmobile. I'll just work away my payment plans. And I find your site is actually very user-friendly. It's a clean-looking site. I can't deal with messy sites where you have to like go down one little rabbit hole and another tab and stuff like that to try and pay. I can't be dealing with that. But it is quite user-friendly, and I like the payment plan option. And I remember you mentioned that about upgrades. I never really thought much about it because I'd never bought you before. And then I just got I got a notification on my phone one day coming home from work, and went into Facebook, and you were showing off the remote control, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, how much extra is that? And I was like, no, I have that. This is because they had the backers. I get that now, and that's so you get. I really like that, and I like the way it was actually the one replicated from the 1-to-1 from the movie. That's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to using that. I just got to debunk a myth here. So this is not true. Very nice of Shane to cover the VAT for all European Jazzinc customers of Catwoman. Moderators, you're going to get me in trouble. Okay. Really quickly, I just want to address some super chats here. So thank you very much for the following super chats.
Let's fucking go.
Super chat here from that guy Mark. Is it safe to say the Tumbler will go up for pre-order next year? Trying to space out the payment plans to get the animated also. Good question.
Well, Mark, I don't know if it's safe to say because it might go up later this year. So it's very clear that the Tumbler has won the vote. I've already started working on it. So the Tumbler is coming. I'm working on features. Everyone who's watching this and you have reference material, I want it. Anyone who says this is what's wrong with the Hot Toys, you should improve this. And I've already heard things like the flaps or wings that come out of the side when he does the jump on the roof. That's not in Hot Toys. That will be in ours. The interior is an obvious upgrade. The size, like I said, the 8 to 10% upscaling is an obvious thing. Most likely the die cast on the outside. So give me feedback. Any and all is welcome. So it's safe to say the Tumbler will be up for pre-order next year, but it might go up for pre-order as early as later this year in Q4.
Interesting stuff. Do me a favor and just phone this one in. Don't make it too good because I don't need another payment plan.
Let's fucking go.
So we got a. Thanks very much for the $4.99 super chat from Graham/Grant from the Jedi Knights Watch. Joost, I need a Bob the Goon from 89. What are my chances? What are his chances, Joost? Bob the Goon.
20%? Something like that? 25%? Yeah.
You know, you probably know the story. I think everyone knows the story. Apparently Bob the Goon, the guy, the actor, he's not an actor at all. He was Jack Nicholson's drinking buddy. And they needed a guy, and he was the guy. So, and he's now become beloved to fans. Mm-hmm. So, thanks very much, Graham. Hey, 20%. It's worse. It could be worse.
Yeah. There's just so much cool stuff to do first. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, of course. So I'm just gonna give you can brush on past this really quick. I'm just gonna give this. So RoboCop, any chance? No. Okay, let's just move on.
Whoa, Shane.
Okay.
I'm so glad you asked me because we've been talking to MGM since about a month, and Stargate and RoboCop are on the list of things we are talking about with them.
Interesting. And is it for the car, or is it something else outside the car, or?
So if we do RoboCop, then the car is definitely on the table.
Interesting. That is now. I told you, if that's an option, if that happens, I will do it. I'm doubling down on that. If that happens, I'll drop a PO on that. I will drop a PO on that. And like my vehicle space, very limited. I've got 2 module cases to build at the weekend, which are going to swap out this wooden riser I have. It gives me a more solid riser. It rises everything up a bit higher, maximize the space, because there's about a foot there above the top of the Blaladin that's not been. Between the top of the Blaladin and the ceiling, there's about a foot, which is effectively dead space. So if I can raise that up, and the module case is a more solid riser, and I get to have space for 2 vehicles. So Jazzinc 89 is going on one, Hot Toys Tumbler is going on another. But you know, I could rotate that. So look, it lives on the internet forever now. So that is very interesting. Derek Sizemore is your mod, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell him he owes me a beer because he asked me to ask that.
I saw him ask you that, and I'm like,
yeah.
I've got some news.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So just please keep me updated on that. Just send me an old message on Facebook. That'll be you never know when I'm having a bad day, and that might be just a little thing
so
I need. So
I think for MGM, I talked to Tricia. She's the head there, and she's wonderful, and she was very excited about our stuff. I've asked her for an update this week, but she's crazy busy. Like I said, there's another big licensing due in London she needs to fly over for. So it's probably not going to be until late October that I hear from her about any next step. But let's just say we're talking. I've got RoboCop on the list. I've got Stargate on the list. Got a couple of other cool things on the list.
Stargate. That's the series or the
both
the TV show. Oh, I see.
The TV show with our MacGyver actor,
MacGyver,
of course.
Yeah.
The iconic movie, which is one of my favorite movies. So that's
very interesting. I actually was just saying that completely joking. I didn't actually see that there was actually some hype. There was some light at the end of the tunnel. Interesting stuff.
Yeah,
that is cool. That's brilliant. You heard it here, folks. Folks. So like that's very exciting. I think Ian would stop talking to me if I didn't ask you if there's any update on the James Bond or an Aston Martin DB5 or...
Well, Tricia then put me in touch with EON, which is the production company that owns all the rights to James Bond. It also produces the movies. And I've had a great talk with Michael. And there might be some other companies also in talks with them. And that's all I know.
Okay, so there might be a bit of competition there. Does that mean if another company gets a license, then you won't be able to get it, or how does that work?
Could be. So
Right,
we don't know much, but we're starting talks, and we can see where that leads.
Dogito says, "Why did all the blood just drain from Shane's face?" Yeah, that's me. I'll never recover from this financially. Yeah, no, that is exciting. Like, you know, I know people say it's just like a Ford Taurus, whatever, but it's the entire, like, if you have just bullet holes in it and the OCP sign and just having the figure just standing out of the God. We're kind of getting to the end now, but there's still one or two other things. Do you have an update? I know people were curious about the 1966 Bat Cycle, and of course there was something at the animated, of course, animated Batman and the animated Batmobile itself, because that's a tricky one, isn't it? The animated Batmobile, because there must be a little bit easy. Okay, not easy. I don't know if this is easy, but to replicate something on screen, and you know, like the 89 is live action, the Tumblers 9 action live action in 1966, but with the animated version, because you're so into the realism, and then like from, you know, we read comics, I've seen the Batman animated stuff, the cartoon, his jaw is not anatomically correct, his shoulders are huge, his legs look non-existent, but that was part of the charm, and so the vehicles is exaggerated as well. So I watched the I've seen, you know, I keep an eye on the Jazzinc Facebook page and stuff like that, and I kind of go like, it's impossible to keep everyone happy, like you. Especially with that one, like it's impossible.
Yeah, but I think we're doing some very cool stuff with the figure. With the vehicle, I think we found a mode now where people can be happy, and we've been surprised with the number of pre-orders so far, so that I can also already start thinking about doing an engine block in there. So this is already a bit outdated already, but yeah. So the hood is going to be opening with an engine block. We're going to be filling the space behind here, and yeah. So we got the opening canopy. We might do something magnetic, so we don't have to do a seam down the line here. And yeah, so I think it's good. I think it's good.
And is that, like, I think, if wasn't it something ridiculous if you were to make that the way some of the shots in the animation portrays it, it would be like ridiculously long. Was it 5 feet plus or something way longer?
Yeah, and then there would only be one seat because the cockpit was so narrow that so basically, and then
I'm looking forward to that too, as well as to admire that from afar. But yeah, and what about the figures then? You're working on the animated Batman as well?
Yeah, animated Batman. We're working on that. We got Inigo Gill, who's currently sculpting. So we're happy with where the sculpts are now for now, and then we're testing that. We're currently 3D scanning the seamless body that we have for the animated series Batman, so that we can design the boots and the gloves and that sort of thing. And then later this year we will have the first prototype to show. So for this year, the figures are going to be Catwoman, animated Batman, and Penguin. And then next year going to be some 1966 figures. Yeah, and I'm not going to say much more about that, but yeah.
Okay, fair. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So there's, like, so there obviously you've got your first batch of the 1989 coming out. You've got a Pfeiffer hopefully going up for pre-order end of September, and hopefully, and then you've got like the 66 Bat Cycle in the works. There is the Tumbler in the works. There's the animated Batmobile. You're kept busy, and then you've got the animated Batman, the Penguin from Batman Returns, and then other things possibly in the distance, like the likes of RoboCop car. Come on, Derek. I just want to finish off. I think this is probably the most important question that I'm going to ask you today. So, you are at the forefront of the creative process.
Yes.
And I don't think anyone who's just say randomly pops onto YouTube because they're a 6-scale collector and they just want to watch reviews. I don't think anyone sees the work that goes on in the background to create a channel. The buying the equipment, learning how to use the equipment, learning how to edit, the hours you put into it. And then and that's small compared to a company. And then the contracts and, workforce and paying people and sourcing products and stuff like that. And then when you put months and months of effort into it and someone kind of went, actually, the button on the steering wheel is a different shade of green. How do you cope? It has to affect you mentally and emotionally. I know you said you exercise earlier on, and I get that. I do the same thing as well. The older I get, it's less about the physical side, it's more about the mental side and get me correct and stuff like that. But the negativity and the constant, like you said, requesting for attention or whatever, or that has to affect you mentally and emotionally. Surely, you can't be bulletproof. You're only human. Yeah,
and that has gotten worse in the last couple of months, with the figure people coming in, with the later 1989 customers coming in. And I've had bad days, sure, but I will not let them get me down, and I'll just keep coming. And even when it got really dark, like the first days where people were blowing up the 1989 thing, I got back from that to where I was like, especially when people like Mr. Mom were showing the comparison, and it was like, and everybody who actually had this thing in hand was like, dude, this thing is amazing. And I was like, yeah. And you know what really helped is I was like, okay, I've done everything. I've communicated. I've done more than I should have for the money because the budget is gone and then some. I've added free extras. And people were still not happy. And I called their bluff and I'm like, all right, I'll give you a free refund. If that's the only reason why you're keeping this order, I'll give you a free refund. And 3 people took me up on it. And I had a great weekend. I was like,
that's a boss move, because your conscience is clear. Not that, it is not as any conscious issue, but that's done. You've given them a chance. Everyone had that offer. And then you've 270 something on the wait list. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then give one to Evil Sneaker.
Yeah.
I want to see if he's going to do it or not.
No, but the thing is, right now, with the 3, I'm keeping that just to have them as a backup. So right now, I'm still not able to convert anyone from that 270 wait list. I've gotten a message from Warner Brothers. They've sold out of their second batch now. They asked me if they could please order 50 more. I've told them no. So I'm not going to be stuck with these things. And the vast, vast majority knows the amazing work we put in there, and they know what they're getting, and that it's right now it is the most accurate and best representation of the 1989. Are there limitations? Always. Are they perfect? No, they never are. Is there going to be one YouTuber who's going to get the worst light and zoom in 4K on the one thing that you couldn't even see? Of course he's going to. I'm prepared for that. But what I've noticed, and this is what really helped me the most in the last few weeks, is we've gotten so many nice messages. We've gotten so much support. We've lost exactly 3 orders. out of almost 2,500. I'm like, okay, if this is the worst they can do, fine.
You know what? I think we're going to leave it there. Joost, thank you very much for taking 2 hours on the button out of your day. I really appreciate that. I know that you're a busy man. Running a company, I can only imagine how stressful that is and how time consuming it is. I'll just finish with this. My collecting is completely rooted in my love of film, television, particularly movies. One of the warmest, nicest memories that I have of a kid is getting a plastic, I think it was Kenner or something like that. I think it might have been Toy Biz Batwing from the 1989 movie. I think I've traced it to when I was 6, because that would have been Christmas 1989, and I was either 6 or 7 anyway. And getting that and little, I think it was a Toy Biz Batman and the Joker, and just thinking life's complete. And watching that movie with my parents as well, and kind of going, Mom and Dad like this, and I like this, and there's something about this movie. This is bold. Like there's violent. Like there's something. I think I can like this when I'm older as well. And like you know, I went to see that in the cinema this time last year for Batman Day. I'd never seen it before. And when I think of cars, iconic cars, I know you've got the DeLorean and the Tumbler, and you got Kit and the DB5. I think of the 1989 Batmobile, and I know if your car didn't exist, I'd probably be happy with the Hot Toys one too. I would, and I'm not going to go out there and bash it or bash it. And that's just not my style. Some of my best friends have that, and they're really, really happy with it. But
amazing car for the money.
Yeah, and I don't collect everything. I pass on so much things. I pass on so much things I like to get the things I love. And that's how I budget. And that was the thing. I just really wanted to go the extra mile with this one. I'm still very, very happy and excited about it. And look, if there's any issues, I'm sure, like you've shown here that you are communicative. I'm able to reach out to you, and I'll do that in a respectful way, and I would encourage people to do that as well. But I'm just really, really still looking forward to it. So thank you so much for coming on that show. I do appreciate it.
My pleasure, as always. Despite the second Thanos snap thing, that was okay.
I think you got easy. I think you got easy.
I did.
I'm going to go away, and I'm going to fester for a while, and we'll see. I'm looking forward to that Catwoman as well. But Joost, thank you so much to the 175 people watching. We had a few milestones today. We've never hit 200 people on a live stream. So whether you're watching now or you're watching on the replay, I do thank you. If you're trolling in the darkness, shout out to you. You've just boosted my engagement with my numbers. Thank you, so. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a channel member. We are giving away a load of stuff on the 21st. And that's it. See you, folks. Good luck. See you in the next one. Bye.